again, and if you joined us from the last video, you will know just how exciting this game is finally getting. It's one of the reasons why this has got to be one of my favourite strategy games, because the story associated with it, particularly when it comes to the end game. In fact, the whole way through, the story is underlying there, and you've learned bits about your relationship with the planet. But the storyline is just fantastic, and we're now getting to the part now where we're finally beginning to understand planet, while planet is on the brink of evolving, and in the process killing us off. And we're trying to hold them back, and planet is now aware of what it is doing and is trying to hold itself back. So, without further ado, let's go to the interlude from the Book of Planets, mission year 2379, part 3. Hello, CEO. Dr. Kai's voice crackles over the announcer. How do you like my new body? Dr. Kai's body reached the outer limit of longevity treatments several years ago. He has now joined the ranks of the Transcendi, daring souls who have downloaded their personalities into a powerful polymorphic AI net to free themselves from the human form. The hollow image shows Kai, or rather his disembodied head, in the prime of health, 50-ish, elegantly grey but not wrinkled. Out of this world, Dr. Kai, with a grin. How's the research going with planets? Using the new PSI data link VOAC feed, Dr. Kai has been conducting a high-speed, high-bandwidth running conversation with planet. The results so far have been fascinating. Apparently, the fungus has been the dominant life form on the planet since about the time of the lower Paleozoic on Earth, but has been locked in a tragic cycle. Every 100 million years or so it achieves the critical mass necessary to become a sentient, but the final metamorphosis kills off most of the other life on the planet. Lacking food sources and maintenance of its animal symbiotes provided, the fungus could only maintain only a brief season of godhood before dying back to the flower dream for another 100 million years. It always achieved its godlike intelligence, just exactly too late to do anything to prevent the dieback. After the dieback, only vague memories and rudimentary intelligence remained, and the cycle continued. Until we arrived. Precisely. For the first time, the cycle may be broken. Is it possible to prevent the dieback? And can we survive as a species if this planet flowers to godhood? I believe it is possible, and planet agrees. Dr. Kai's image swirls away and is replaced by a detailed schematic. It involves a process I called the ascent to transcendence, and it will change both of us and planet forever. In short, I propose that when the time comes, the majority of humans upload their personalities directly into the planetary mind. Will we have to give up our bodies, our humanity? Those who wish to live out their lives in their original human form will be allowed to do so, since stasis generators built planet-side and in orbit will preserve genetic material, plant and animal embryos, cold sleep humans, and significant areas of planet's surface through the metamorphosis. But many of us are eager to accept the planet's gift and join the dawning superintelligence. That's where the catch comes in. You see, Kai continues, although anyone will be able to achieve virtual immortality by uploading the planetary mind, only a few of us will be invited to join the dominant personality, to transcend our humanity entirely and reach a truly higher plane of existence. Your friendship with the planet's immature mind may give us a leg up in this area, but I predict that it is the group who best and most quickly prepares itself for this step. The group which first embraces this ascent to transcendence is the group which will be tapped to lead us to this new era. In that case, what are we waiting for? So there we go, we've now got a plan. We're going to leave our human bodies behind and enter the neural net of planet, which, if you remember, is absolutely huge because of it shares its planet mind between all the fungus, all the fungal towers, which I never got to show you in this game. There weren't any fungal towers. All the mind worms, all the spore launchers, sea lurks, all the things I was complaining about earlier on, are all part of this massive neural network, and we will download our sentient species into this network and become at one with planet. And it's a beautiful ending, really. Well, that's to be expected. Wow, that's a lot of damage.
Project initiated.
And the ascent to transcendence. Only 13 turns. That's quite reasonable.
Production complete.
Okay, so I got quite excited there when we got to
Insufficient energy.
storyline.
Production complete.
Now we've got a load of gameplay to get through, but it's somewhat less interesting,
Production complete.
especially at this stage in the game because it's all
Production complete.
pretty standard.
Production complete.
Let me just check whether I need to build any more of these sky hydroponics pods.
Production complete.
I would think it's safest just to build some supply crawlers. When I usually play this game, I'm usually so rich by this point, I'm
Production complete.
just buying the voice of the Ascent to Transcendence. But that doesn't really feel right.
Production complete. Production complete.
It would probably help me actually. But have you noticed how it suddenly made a comeback now that we've built the voice of Planet? Planet was fine before, but now it's giving you a sense of urgency because the fungal growth it's preparing itself to evolve. Well, of course, this evolution involves wiping out all of the planets,
Complete.
all of the life forms on planet. We have to take a great rush.
Production complete.
There's not much that really needs to be done.
Production complete. Production complete. Production complete.
Recycling tanks, why not?
Production complete. Production complete. Maximum population reached.
For some reason I want to build locusts of CHIRON for reasons that are beyond my understanding. I would have thought they got better things to think about. Look at that. What does the Ascent to Transcendence do? End of singular sentience era. We form collective mind. Which, if you've ever read the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov, at the end of Foundation and Earth, there's a very similar ending to that. And I won't give it away by telling you exactly what it is. But it does follow along these kind of lines of where kind of the human body becomes obsolete.
Complete. Request confirmation. Production complete. Production complete.
Paradise Bill. That sounds quite nice.
Production complete. Production complete. Production complete.
This is mining station.
Production complete.
So there's still plenty more growth in all of these places.
Production complete. Request confirmation. Production complete. Production complete.
The population is absolutely booming.
Production complete. Production complete.
I say I really don't mind the fungus popping because the fungus is probably, in fact I'd say it's almost certainly better than the forest it's destroying. It's like the final phase of your development. You build farms and solar collectors to start with, then you build forests, and at the very end of the game you cultivate the fungus.
Production complete.
Well, no, I've never actually cultivated the fungus, but
Production complete.
Jesus Christ, get a move on. but I'm certainly a lot more tolerant of it than I used to be.
Production complete. Request confirmation. Maximum population reached.
Eternity lies
Yeah.
ahead of us and behind. Have you drunk your
Station
fill?
down. Brood bit one.
Lady Dietrich Sky. Conversations with Planet. Epilogue.
Production complete.
Have complex, so you need to be able to have dome.
Insufficient energy. Production complete.
I'd pay for it if I could, but I can't, so I won't. And there you go, you find that there's, population size-wise, there's very little to tell these new colonies, apart from
Production complete.
bases that have been around for ages.
Production complete.
Because they all start to reach into the 20s. Which may sound huge, but it's, I think it's about, in terms of about between 2,000 and 20,000 people. So in terms of today's Earth, it's actually really sparsely populated. But you wouldn't have got the feeling from that by
Improvement already exists.
the amount that I am building. And how crowded it seems, it's just that production techniques have got so good. Well, the work of a few hundred people can make up the millions that were on Earth. Did they destroy my... No, they didn't. Oh yeah, I was going to check about satellites. 21,9. What's my biggest base size? 24. And I suppose it shows no sign of slowing down. Maybe it shows... No, it's plus 11. So it can grow to a 33 easily. So why the hell are you wasting your time with replication comments? I say, if you do your job properly, that's it should be. It's really easy to get really high. Hardened supply crawlers. That was tough being a supply crawler. Travelling down the mag tubes. Who knows what's going to happen? I think you'll notice that if you've got any sense, all the AI start to build. They haven't had a chance to adopt yet, but everybody can start building the Ascent to Transcendence. Just that by this stage of the game, I've got the technology to actually make it a reality. I've actually got the production and the wealth to actually see that something gets done about it. Forest, kill. Oh, with the voice of the planet operational, humanity now begins its ascent to transcendence. Any faction may now initiate the ascent to transcendence project at any base. The first faction to complete this will imprint its ideals most deeply on the planetary mind.
Production complete.
Sky hydroponics lab.
Production complete.
And we're back to this point again. So the next couple of turns are going to be this dull.
Production
But
complete.
stay with me, because it's only going to last for about 10 turns. If that.
Production complete.
And on that note, I will see you in a bit, because I'm sure you're as hooked as I am.